Hey guys, this is going to be a steroid update video. This is primarily what I made this channel for originally. The major premise of this channel is to document and create a diary essentially of my steroid usage, which I have done. And I know a lot of people who have followed my channel for some time enjoy these types of videos. So I'm going to get right into it. What's happening in the next phase of my steroid usage, because I came to the end of my cruise stage, which was I brought all my steroid usage down for like 3 months. Okay, before I was doing nandrolone, masteron, and testosterone at relatively high doses, and I was still doing that during the cruise, but I brought it down to like testosterone at 150. Master on 100, nandrolone at like 50 or 100, like not much at all, while still doing human growth hormone and also doing Cialis. So I've titrated the doses up in the last 2 weeks just to step it up, titrating about 50 to 100 milligrams a week on it. And I'm coming to the point in time where it's like I'm coming to like a bit of a dilemma, to be honest. Like, how am I going to execute this next blast cycle? If you're unfamiliar with the blast and cruise cycle, it's like cruise, you pull back, blast, you push forward, and you take a more higher dosage that could be a bit more unhealthy. But the way I do it is risk versus reward management, which is like, you mitigate the risks while you maximize the rewards, and that's the important thing with steroids. Okay, so, and the way to do that is you just do it for a certain period of time. It's not like you're doing that for extended periods of time. Okay, so I'm coming to the next cycle, which is about, I'm going to say, 2 to 3 months cycle, and my initial thoughts is just continue what I did before because of the great results I got, which is slightly higher testosterone, matching that with masteron, propionate, and then doing nandrolone at like 150 milligrams a week on top of that, just for that little extra oomph. You can call it that, nandrolone. I'm not going to make this video all about nandrolone, but there's a lot of great benefits you get on that. Okay, like it's amazing compound. It's a NOR19 compound. So when you add testosterone, which is just general testosterone base, okay, I do cypionate, and then you add the dihydrotestosterone, which is the masteron, and then you add NOR19 steroid, which is the nandrolone. Okay, those are the three major different types of steroids you can do. You add them all together in the right ratio, amazing things happen. Okay, you don't want to like fuck around with that ratio too much where there's one too much in excess. It's like, okay, it's balanced, okay, and it's not like too excessive, okay, because if it was too excessive, then there's going to be, we're going to run into issues with heart rates and blood pressure, and that's something that I keep tally on, and so far so good. When I titrated the dosage up the last 2 weeks, I kept monitoring my blood pressure levels, and it was rarely surpassing 130 over 80 something, which is good. Okay, it's good enough. Anyway, so when I bring those dosage up more, and if it starts getting to the point where it's like 150 over 90, then it's a bit in the danger zone. Well, you're getting into the bit of the red zone. It's like if you were, I drive a standard car. If I'm in second gear and I'm pulling onto the highway and I'm going 80, 90 kilometers an hour, all of a sudden it's like, you're like starting to peak like your revolutions per minute, right? Your revs. Well, you don't want to push that too hard when it comes to the heartbeats per minute, because if you do that in excess for months at a time, it can take a toll. It tax your cardiovascular system, and you'll feel it. You'll feel it. It'll feel like shit. So you don't want to do that. If you do, then you might need to take something like telmisartan, which I don't want to do. I don't want to go to the ACE inhibitors, which are the blood pressure medications. I do take one blood pressure medication, which is Cialis, and it seems to work okay. And there's great benefits with Cialis, which is it promotes blood flow to the body, like the vascularity I'm getting, and the sexual benefits are kind of off the hook. Like it's pretty gnarly sometimes too. But also, I heard Cialis has great effects because it promotes blood flow to the brain and things like on consciousness. Like you have conscious benefits. So I'm gonna try to just work with Cialis and see if I'm pushed the limits of the steroid usage in this next blast, where it's not gonna be like at 150 over 90. Hopefully, if it's in the 130s, which is still heightened blood pressure, I'll tolerate that. But because I don't think I'll get like negative consequences as far as feeling like shit, but I'll still get the benefits, which is great gains essentially. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to mention when it comes to the gains, which is the goals. What's the goal, right? Because whenever you're doing steroids, there has to be a goal in mind. You have to do it calculatively. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing these particular compounds? For what reason? And what ratios and everything, okay? And the reason why I pick these ratios and things, because I want ones that's going to max my strength but not bloat me out too much. Actually, potentially lose weight, lose bloatingness whilst still making gains. And I dabbled in the consideration of doing trenbolone. Okay, that's going to like the real dark side when it comes to steroids, but not at like a crazy dose. Like there's a time and a place to do trenbolone, and for a certain time period, like maybe a 6-week cycle on trenbolone acetate. I considered that, although I think I could make just like better like quality gains, safer gains, by doing what I was doing before, which is just testosterone, masteron, very safe compound, and nandrolone, again, another safe compound as long as you're not doing it in excess. So I'll stick with that, and potentially here's the next kicker of it all, is adding in at a certain point during the next blast the Anavar at just 20 milligrams a day, which is like a half a pill. I have these pills that are like 40 milligram capsules. So if I bust that in half, dump that out, and then take it sublingually under the tongue for a pre-workout or like pre-boxing session. The amount of like pre-workout effect you get from Anavar is pretty crazy. That's one of the reasons why I would take it more than anything. Although when you do the 6-week cycle, you'll notice that Anavar tightens your shit up like a motherfucker. Ah, my dog's biting my Achilles. Sucks. Stop it. Sorry, my girlfriend's calling me right now. I'm going to leave it there with this video. What are your thoughts on that? Leave in the comments section below what your thoughts are on how I'm going to approach the next cycle. Peace.